Okay. Well, thank you, Herold, first of all, for playing with us on this.
My pleasure.
It's a great honor for us, and of course a great pleasure to play with you and feel that's great swing time.
An honor for me.
Can you talk to me a little bit about playing this kind of acoustic, old-style jazz as opposed to maybe some of the other styles of jazz that you've been involved with over your career? This particular type of...
Well, I kind of grew up on this style because when I was young, this kind of music was being played on the radio even. And I loved the four-man rhythm section because the guitar and I mean, once we start grooving in a pocket, between the guitar and I, it was like the days of Freddie Green. We didn't hear each other almost because that hi-hat and the snare, we were blending right in there together. And all that bass has to do is sit there and rock it back and forth, and boy, it's just like automatic. You can't hit anything wrong. But it was acoustic that I think made the difference, because then you had to yourself get louder or be able to go down and get softer while you kept the same intensity.
Well, I have to say, after having played with a good number of drummers, there are very few drummers that have that sort of acoustic feel in a room where they can really tone their playing according to, I mean, I'm a violin player, so drummers gets all busy with cymbals, I'm done.
Yeah.
For sound, I mean, I can't cut through a lot of ride, and you know, how do you read what's going on, the instrument you're with, in this case, the violin, but what are you doing? What's your process that you're going through in order to make this acoustic music match a wood instrument, for example?
Well, for me, I learned classical music in the beginning. Coming up in Richmond, Indiana, a small town, we didn't have that much jazz going on, so we studied classical music. So I was thinking dynamics and all that, and to listen to the melody and to not step on it. And then when you got a rhythm section like this, wow, it's just it's such a pleasure. I mean, it's really a joy just to sit back and just keep it right in there in the little pocket. And I think coming from classical music, you don't have to hit everything as hard as you can. And you just sit back and wait for you to, well, you don't have to take a breath, but when you're playing, when you're phrasing, to put a little punctuation or to put the period on, or to get it ready for the next phrase, set you up. So with this kind of acoustic band, I mean, I just rival in it because I get a chance to go down in there soft, and then when you build back up with the intensity, even though those songs weren't that fast, I can build up a sweat right. Because the intensity is right there.
I looked over a number of times and saw you really concentrating in the groove, and it's amazing to do that for the duration of a song. And drummers have always, wonderful drummers such as yourself, I should say, have always amazed me in keeping the swing feeling really going from the very first bar all the way through to the end of a piece. It's hard work.
Yeah, yeah. I think being with Count Basie, though, I learned to have to do that. I mean, Freddie Green would say some nights that your feet sounds heavy. So I would know it just meant to lift it up a little bit. Basie never told me how to play. He might suggest something. Or by that I mean he'd say, do you think it would sound better with brushes, or do you think it would? He would ask me. And I'd say, well, yeah, sure, Chief. Might be better that way. So that's why, I mean, he never told anybody what to do. That's how all those giants came out of his band, I think. So many of them. They were taken on their own after they got started there a little bit.
And Freddie Green, he steered you a little more directly?
Yeah, Freddie Green sat right here next to me on the end of the trombone row. So I mean, I heard the guitar and the bass, and then whatever bass he would put in. But, but
I here and there.
Yeah. And I mean, I heard this here all night, and it just, I got used to that, you know. So that it was I've learned that it's a great pocket, the four-man rhythm section. Yeah.
Well, it sounded sweet, and I can't wait to hear the records, hear how it comes out.
Me either. Me either.
I'll make sure you have some copies.
Okay. Okay, I got a big family.
Okay, all right. Deal.
Yeah, okay, man.
Thanks.
All
Thanks so
right.
much for playing.
All right, Jeremy. My pleasure.
Beautiful.
Man. My pleasure. Yeah.
Harold Jones. Gotta love him. I'll introduce the band.
Okay.
Just stand up here with us, around us.
Man. Cast. Section.
It's been a total pleasure.
Yeah, section.
So where did Freddie stand?
Freddie stood right, and let me get you a chair. Yeah, but no, shoot. All right.
All right. So we have introductions.
Yeah.
Violinjazz band is Larry Dunlap on piano. Say hi, Larry.
Hi.
Larry does most of the arrangements for Violinjazz. He's done the arrangements for me for 20-some years.
Since I was 13.
Okay.
Just flew up today from playing in LA with Cleo Lane and John Dankworth.
Oh yeah.
On bass, we have Jim Kerwin.
Yeah.
Jim.
Yeah, it's a pleasure to be here.
Yeah, Jill.
Jim's been playing with Violinjazz for the last 20 or so years. Band's been around a long time.
Violence in Violinjazz.
That's right. And on guitar, we have Dix Bruce, who's also been with Violinjazz since we met when our kids were in preschool together.
Wow.
And preschool. And now our kids are both, our oldest kids are both 25, so we've been playing together probably at least 23, 24 years.
Oh man, that's great. No wonder it just breathes together. Really.
There's something to be said, I guess, for having a steady band, steady rhythm section.
Yeah, I mean, as a rule, I like to know what the bass player had to eat for lunch, you know, just so I know what direction I'm going in with him, you know what I mean?
Especially if he's real close to you.
Yeah.
And then joining us for this project on this Violinjazz recording of the music of Eddie South, Herold Jones on drum.
All right.
Herold Jones on drums.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
All right. Okay, you ready to pack up?
Okay, man.
Thank you.
All right,
Thanks so
thank
much.
you, Jeremy.
All right.
Oh, man.